somewhere after 50, your body quietly starts giving back muscle you spent a lifetime building, a little more every year. And you will not feel it happening until the day a jar will not open or the stairs leave you winded. The good news is that you have far more say in this than anyone told you. If you have noticed you tire faster, bruise more easily, take longer to bounce back from a cold, or feel a little unsteady on your feet, this is for you. A big part of that story is protein, and most people over 50 are quietly getting too little of it to hold their strength. And here is the part that surprises people. You do not need meat at every meal or expensive powders to fix it. Plants can carry a serious amount of protein, often for pennies a serving, and we will get to one at number 20 that rivals steak ounce for ounce. So here is what you are getting. 20 high-protein plant foods, and for each one, how much protein it actually delivers, the easiest way to eat it, and how to grow or buy it cheaply. This is general information, not medical advice, so if you have kidney issues or take medication, run big changes past your doctor first. Stay for number 18, a blue-green powder that carries more protein by weight than almost anything else in your kitchen. Stay for number 19, a savory yellow flake that is a complete protein and one of the simplest ways, after 50, to get the B12 your body absorbs less and less. And number 20 is a plant food you can make at home with roughly the protein of beef, gram for gram. If real food meeting honest science is your kind of thing, subscribe to Healing Garden, one careful, well-researched video a week. And if even 3 of these make it onto your plate, tap like so more people over 50 find them. Number 1. Lentils, the humble powerhouse. Lentils are small, dried legumes, cousins of beans and peas, and they have fed people cheaply for thousands of years, from the lentil stew in the book of Genesis to the kitchens of India today. They are one of the best protein bargains on earth. A single cooked cup gives you around 18 grams of protein, plus a wall of fiber, iron, and folate, all for a few cents. If you find that meat sits heavy, chewing has become a chore, or your budget simply will not stretch to it every day, lentils quietly solve all 3. After 50, the real key is getting a solid dose of protein at each meal, because your body becomes slower to turn food into muscle and needs a bigger nudge each time. A warm bowl of lentil soup is one of the gentlest, easiest ways to give it that nudge, soft enough for any appetite. Beyond protein, lentils are loaded with the slow, soluble fiber that research consistently links with healthier cholesterol and steadier blood sugar, and large studies of regular legume eaters tie a daily serving to better heart health and longer life. The iron matters too, because so much of the tiredness people blame on age is quietly low iron. Lentils are not a complete protein alone, but eaten across a week with grains and seeds, that small gap closes completely. To use them, simmer a cup of dried red or green lentils in 3 cups of water for about 20 minutes, no soaking needed, and they melt into soups, stews, curries, and even veggie burgers. A bag costs almost nothing and keeps for a year in the cupboard, so they are the perfect thing to keep stocked. They grow easily in cool climates too. But the next one is the bean that built whole civilizations, and it is just as cheap. Number 2, chickpeas, the versatile bean. Also called garbanzo beans, chickpeas are a staple from the Mediterranean to the Middle East to India, the golden base of hummus, falafel, and countless curries. A cooked cup carries about 15 grams of protein and a generous 12 grams of fiber, and their flavor is so mild and friendly that they take on whatever you cook them with, which makes them one of the easiest proteins to actually enjoy day after day. If your appetite is smaller than it used to be, which is common after 50, chickpeas slip in without demanding a big meal. A scoop of hummus on toast, a handful roasted for a crunchy snack, a spoonful stirred cold into a salad. Those small, frequent hits of protein through the day actually suit an older body better than one enormous serving, because your muscles can only use so much protein at once, so spreading it out wastes none of it. Chickpeas bring a steady supply of plant protein, along with magnesium, folate, and manganese, nutrients ordinary diets often run short on as we age. The fiber feeds the friendly bacteria in your gut, and a healthy gut after 50 is what helps you absorb the very nutrients you're working to get. Studies of bean-rich diets link them again and again with healthier hearts, steadier weight, and better blood sugar, which is a lot of reward from a humble tin. The lazy way is a can, drained and rinsed, ready in seconds for pennies, and there is no shame in that. To roast them, dry them thoroughly, toss with a little oil and salt, and bake at 200 degrees for half an hour until crisp. Dried chickpeas need an overnight soak and a longer simmer, but cost even less. They store for a year dry, so keep a few tins handy. Next is the bean that brings deep color as well as protein. Number 3, black beans, the dark protector. These small, shiny beans are a cornerstone of Latin American cooking, and that deep, inky color is a clue to their hidden value. A cooked cup gives about 15 grams of protein and 15 grams of fiber, and the dark skins are packed with the same family of antioxidants, called anthocyanins, that make blueberries and blackberries so prized. Few foods give you protein and that kind of colorful plant medicine in the very same bite. If you worry about your heart, or you have been told to keep an eye on your blood pressure as the years add up, black beans are a quietly powerful friend. The generous fiber and potassium in them are both linked with healthier blood pressure, while the protein helps you hold onto muscle without the saturated fat that comes packaged with a lot of red meat. Swapping beans in for some of your meat is one of the most heart-kind trades there is. Those dark pigments are antioxidants that researchers study for their role in calming inflammation, the slow, smoldering background fire that tends to creep upward with age and sits underneath so many later life complaints. Paired with rice, black beans form a complete protein, carrying every amino acid your muscles need to rebuild, which is exactly why that simple, cheap combination of beans and rice has kept whole populations strong and healthy for centuries. Canned black beans are the easy route, wonderful in tacos, soups, chili, and even, surprisingly, blended into dark, fudgy brownies. Dried ones cost even less, and once you have simmered a big pot, they freeze beautifully in portions, so cook once and eat all week. They are endlessly forgiving and almost impossible to ruin. Up next is a sweet green pod you might remember shelling on a backstep as a child, and quietly underrated. Number 4, green peas, the sweet surprise. We think of peas as a humble little side dish, but they are secretly a legume and a genuinely respectable source of protein. A single cup carries around 8 grams, far more than almost any other vegetable, along with vitamin C, vitamin K, folate, and a pleasant natural sweetness that even fussy eaters enjoy. They are proof that protein does not have to come from anything fancy or unfamiliar. If chewing has become tiresome, or large portions of meat feel like far too much, peas are soft, sweet, and effortless to eat, slipping into almost any meal without fuss. For an older appetite, that easiness genuinely matters, because the best protein source in the world is the one you will actually finish, meal after meal, day after day. A scoop of peas beside dinner is a quiet, painless way to lift the protein of a plate you already enjoy. Peas have quietly become a star of modern nutrition science. Pea protein is now one of the most studied plant proteins of all, and it is unusually rich in leucine, the particular amino acid that acts like an ignition switch for building muscle, the very process that grows sluggish and harder to trigger after 50. Whole green peas deliver that same benefit in gentler, food-shaped form, wrapped up with fiber, vitamins, and minerals your body can use all at once. A bag of frozen peas is one of the cheapest and most useful things you can keep in a freezer. Cooked from frozen in barely 3 minutes and ready to bulk out any meal. Fresh shelling peas are a real joy in early summer, and they grow easily up a small trellis in a pot or a patch of garden, sweetening the moment you pick them. Next, we move from the pod to the bean that protein scientists respect the most of all. Number 5, edamame, the complete pod. Edamame are young green soybeans, the ones served warm and salted in their pods at Japanese restaurants, and nutritionally they are a heavyweight. 1 cup delivers around 18 grams of protein, and here is what sets soy apart from nearly every other plant. It is a complete protein, carrying every single essential amino acid your body needs all on its own, with no clever food pairing required to fill any gaps. If you have ever been told that plant protein is somehow second-rate or not real protein, edamame is the simple, delicious answer to that myth. After 50, your body needs every one of those essential amino acids in good supply to repair and rebuild muscle, and soy hands them all over in one food. It is also quietly satisfying to eat slowly, pod by pod, which suits a smaller appetite, a quiet afternoon, and a hand that likes something to do. Soy has been studied more thoroughly than almost any plant food on Earth, and the picture that emerges is genuinely reassuring. Research links moderate soy intake with healthier cholesterol, better blood vessel function, and, for many older women, gentler menopausal changes and stronger bones. The old fears about soy and hormones simply have not held up in the human studies, where moderate whole food soy looks consistently good for the heart rather than harmful, so you can enjoy it with confidence. You will find edamame in the freezer aisle, both in the pod and already shelled, ready in about 5 minutes of steaming and then sprinkled with a little sea salt. The shelled beans toss straight into stir-fries, soups, and salads for an instant protein boost. They are inexpensive and store for months in the freezer, so there is no waste. Next is the food that turns those same humble soybeans into something soft enough for absolutely any meal. Number 6, tofu, the shapeshifter. Tofu is simply soybeans soaked, blended, and pressed into a soft white block, made much the way cheese is made from milk, and it has nourished East Asia for 2,000 years. Half a block carries around 20 grams of complete protein. And tofu's quiet genius is that it has almost no flavor of its own, so it soaks up whatever you cook it with and can become whatever your meal needs it to be. If your teeth, your gums, or your digestion are simply not what they once were, tofu is a real gift. Soft, silken tofu is almost custard-like, easy to swallow and gentle on a tender stomach, while firmer blocks can be baked or fried until they crisp up like chicken. For an older body that needs steady protein, but cannot face a struggle at every meal, few foods anywhere are as forgiving, as soothing, or as endlessly useful as a block of tofu. Because it is made from whole soybeans, tofu carries that same complete protein advantage along with calcium and often added vitamin D, 2 nutrients your bones lean on heavily after 50 as they naturally start to thin. Calcium-set tofu can rival a glass of milk for calcium, which makes this a quiet double ally, feeding your muscles and your skeleton at the same time. That combination of muscle and bone support in one cheap, soft food is genuinely hard to beat. The one trick worth learning is to press the water out of firm tofu first, wrapping it in a towel under a weight for 20 minutes, then marinate it and bake or pan fry until golden so it drinks up flavor and holds together. Silken tofu needs no pressing and blends into creamy sauces, soups, and even smoothies and desserts. It is cheap and keeps for weeks sealed in the fridge. Next is tofu's older, nuttier, even more protein-dense cousin. Number 7. Tempeh, the fermented block. Tempeh comes from Indonesia, made by fermenting whole soybeans until they knit together into a firm, nutty cake you can slice and cook like a small steak. It is one of the most protein-dense plant foods in existence, packing around 30 grams into a single cup, and because the beans are left whole, it keeps all their fiber and minerals rather than straining any of it away, unlike many processed proteins. If a sensitive stomach has made ordinary beans difficult, with all the discomfort that can bring, tempeh may sit far more comfortably. The fermentation works like a head start on digestion, breaking down some of the very compounds that make legumes hard on the gut. And it adds friendly bacteria, too. After 50, a calm, well-fed gut is what lets you actually absorb the nutrients you are working so hard to eat. So tempeh quietly delivers protein and better digestion together. That same fermenting process unlocks minerals like iron and zinc into forms your body can use more easily, and creates beneficial compounds researchers are still busy exploring for gut and heart health. As a whole soy food, tempeh keeps the complete protein and bone-supporting benefits of its cousins, but with more protein per mouthful than almost anything else on this entire list, which is exactly what an aging body that tires of large meals needs. Real nourishment in a small, satisfying serving. To tame its slightly bitter edge, slice it and steam or simmer it for 10 minutes first. Then marinate in something savory like soy sauce and maple, and fry or bake it until crisp and golden. It also crumbles into a brilliant hearty mince for pasta sauces and tacos. Look for it chilled near the tofu, and it freezes well. Next, we leave the soy family altogether for a tiny legume hiding inside a very familiar jar. Number 8. Peanut butter, the comfort protein. Here is a fact that surprises people. Peanuts are not really nuts at all. They are legumes that grow underground like beans, which is exactly why they are so unusually rich in protein. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter carry around 8 grams of protein along with healthy fats and vitamin E, and few foods on earth are as comforting, as familiar, or as effortless to keep within arm's reach. If you struggle to eat enough through the day, and weight quietly slipping away is a real risk for many people after 50. Peanut butter becomes a quiet hero because it packs a lot of nourishment into a small, soft, easy bite. A spoonful on toast, a banana, or apple slices. In the mid-afternoon adds protein and good calories at exactly the hour an older appetite tends to fade, and it needs absolutely no cooking, chewing effort, or planning at all. Peanuts bring far more than protein to the table. They are rich in niacin and vitamin E, in the mineral magnesium, and in the kind of unsaturated fat that large studies consistently link with a healthier heart and a longer life. The one thing that matters is choosing a natural butter whose only ingredients are peanuts and perhaps a pinch of salt, so that you skip the added sugar, salt, and hardened oils that fill the sweeter, glossier supermarket jars. When you open a natural jar, the oil will have risen to the top. So stir it back in well and then keep it in the fridge where it stays mixed and fresh. Spread it on toast, fruit, oat cakes, or stir it into a savory sauce or a smoothie. A large jar is cheap and lasts for weeks. If you tolerate peanuts well, it is one of the easiest protein wins of all. Next is the tree nut treasured since ancient times. Number 9. Almonds, the ancient nut. Almonds have been treasured for thousands of years and appear among the oldest written foods, named even in the book of Genesis as a gift worth carrying. A single handful, about an ounce, gives you 6 grams of protein, a healthy dose of vitamin E, magnesium, and calcium, and the kind of heart-friendly fat that has made the almond one of the most thoroughly studied nuts in the entire world of nutrition. If you want a protein snack that needs no fridge, no cooking, and no preparation at all, almonds travel with you anywhere, in a pocket, a handbag, or a jar by your chair. A small handful steadies hunger between meals and quietly adds protein, which matters because spreading protein across the whole day, rather than loading it all onto the dinner plate, is what best protects aging muscle. They are crunchy, so if chewing is hard, soak them overnight to soften. Almonds are unusually rich in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that helps shield your cells from the slow wear of the years, and in magnesium, a mineral tied to muscle function, nerve health, sleep, and bone strength that a great many older adults fall quietly short on. Large reviews following nut eaters over time link a daily handful with longer, healthier lives, steadier blood sugar, and better cholesterol, which is a remarkable return on such a small, simple habit. Eat them raw or lightly toasted, scatter slivers over porridge, yogurt, and salads, or reach for almond butter if chewing tires you, since it carries the very same goodness in a smoother form. Soaking them overnight makes them softer and, some find, even gentler on digestion. Store them somewhere cool and dark so the good fats stay fresh and never turn. Next is the bright green nut that feels like a treat but works like a tonic. Number 10. Pistachios, the green jewel. Pistachios are an ancient nut. Once so prized, they were reserved for royalty and named among the choice fruits sent as a gift in the book of Genesis. And that vivid green color signals a real wealth of plant compounds inside. An ounce delivers about 6 grams of protein, and pistachios are one of the very few nuts that count as a complete protein, carrying all the essential amino acids your muscles need to rebuild. If you tend to graze through a whole bowl of snacks without quite noticing, pistachios have a clever built-in break, because shelling each one by hand naturally slows you right down. That gentle, fiddly pace suits a quiet afternoon and keeps the portion sensible, all on its own. For anyone over 50 trying to mind both their protein and their waistline at once, a food that gently encourages you to eat slowly and mindfully is a rare and genuinely useful thing. Those green and violet hues come from lutein and zeaxanthin, the very same protective pigments that gather in the back of the eye, which is why research links them with guarding eyesight and the aging brain. Pistachios also bring potassium, fiber, and antioxidants, and studies on people who eat nuts regularly tie them to healthier cholesterol and blood pressure, 2 numbers well worth minding after 50. Few snacks pack so much quiet protection into such a cheerful little shell. Buy them in the shell to slow your pace and make a small handful last, or shelled to scatter over yogurt, salads, rice, and roasted vegetables for color and crunch. A modest daily handful is all you need to enjoy the benefits. They keep for many months sealed in a jar somewhere cool and dark. Next, we move from the nuts to the seeds, beginning with one you have very likely scooped out of a pumpkin and thrown away. Number 11. Pumpkin seeds, the overlooked seed. Also called pepitas, these flat green seeds are a quiet powerhouse that most people scrape out and throw away every autumn without a second thought. An ounce carries around 9 grams of protein, one of the very highest counts among all seeds, along with a genuinely remarkable load of magnesium, zinc, iron, and healthy fats, all tucked inside something small enough to eat by the handful while you read or watch television. If you sleep poorly, feel your legs and feet cramp at night, or seem to catch every cold and bug that goes around, pumpkin seeds quietly speak to all 3 at once. They are one of the best food sources of magnesium and zinc you can find, 2 minerals tied directly to restful sleep, steady and relaxed muscles, and a working immune system, all of which tend to weaken and grow less reliable with each passing decade after 50. That magnesium is really the headline here. A large share of older adults quietly fall short of it, and low magnesium is linked in research with poorer sleep, more frequent muscle cramps, higher blood pressure, and even low mood. The zinc, meanwhile, is central to immune defense and to wound healing, which naturally slows as we age and matters more with every year. Very few everyday snacks deliver both of those minerals as generously as a small handful of these seeds. Eat them raw straight from the bag, or toast them in a dry pan for a few minutes until they puff and pop and turn nutty, then scatter them over salads, soups, porridge, and yogurt, or simply snack on them by the handful. A bag is inexpensive and keeps for many months in the cupboard. Next is a seed so tiny it almost vanishes into your food, and yet it may quietly be the most complete of them all. Number 12, hemp seeds, the tiny complete. Hemp hearts are the soft, shelled inner seeds of the hemp plant, and to settle the obvious question, they carry none of the effects people wrongly fear, just pure, dense nutrition. 3 tablespoons carry about 10 grams of complete protein, an unusual feat for any seed, along with a near-perfect balance of omega-3 and omega-6 fats, and a good dose of magnesium, iron, and zinc, all in a soft, mild, nutty little seed. If chewing or digestion makes nuts and whole beans genuinely difficult, hemp hearts are about the gentlest answer there is. They are soft enough to need no cooking and no real chewing, and their mild, nutty taste simply disappears into whatever you stir them through. For a frail or fading appetite that needs more protein with far less effort, a spoonful blended into a drink or scattered over breakfast is almost invisible, completely effortless, and surprisingly nourishing. What truly sets hemp apart is that rare pairing of complete protein and brain-friendly omega-3 fats inside one tiny seed, a combination you almost never find together in the plant world. Those omega-3 fats are studied for supporting the heart, easing stiff joints, and nourishing the aging brain and memory, while the protein quietly carries every amino acid your muscles need to repair. Very few single foods anywhere manage to cover quite so many bases as gently as this one. Always use hemp hearts raw, never cooked, since heat damages those delicate fats, sprinkled over yogurt, oatmeal, soups, and salads, or blended into smoothies, aiming for around 3 tablespoons a day. Keep the bag in the fridge so the fragile oils stay fresh and never turn bitter. They cost more than beans, but a little goes a long way and the nutrition is exceptional. Next is the seed that turns to soft jelly and keeps you full for hours. Number 13, chia seeds, the ancient endurance seed. These tiny black and gray seeds fueled Aztec runners and messengers across long distances centuries ago, and they have thoroughly earned their modern comeback. 2 tablespoons carry around 5 grams of protein and a striking 11 grams of fiber. And their party trick is remarkable. Soaked in any liquid, they swell up to 10 times their size into a soft, satisfying gel that is easy to swallow and slow to digest. If you battle sluggish digestion, something that grows more common with age, or your appetite simply vanishes and whole hours pass before you remember to eat, chia quietly helps with both problems at once. That gel slows digestion right down, steadies your blood sugar, and keeps you comfortably full for hours, while delivering its protein in a form so soft it suits even the most tender mouth. A small chia pudding is an easy, gentle, almost effortless way to add real nourishment. Chia is one of the richest plant sources of omega-3 fats anywhere, the same fats studied for the heart, the joints, and the aging brain, and its abundant fiber is the soluble kind that research links again and again with steadier cholesterol and blood sugar. The calcium content is genuinely notable too, another quiet helper for bones that thin with the years, which means a humble spoonful is quietly working on your heart, your gut, and your skeleton, all at the same time. The simplest method is to stir 2 tablespoons into a cup of milk or juice, add a little fruit, and let it sit for 20 minutes or overnight in the fridge until it thickens into pudding. You can also sprinkle them dry over food, but always alongside plenty of liquid so they swell in the glass, not in you. A single bag lasts for months. Next, we leave the seeds for the grain that fooled everyone into thinking it was a vegetable. Number 14. Oats, the steady breakfast. Oats are an honest, old-fashioned whole grain with more protein than most people ever realize. A cup of cooked oats carries around 6 grams, and rolled oats hold on to far more of their goodness than the sugary instant packets. But the real magic is a special fiber called beta-glucan, a soft, gel-forming fiber that does some genuinely remarkable things for your heart, your blood sugar, and how long a simple breakfast keeps you full. If mornings feel rushed, or your appetite is shy and uncertain at the start of the day, a warm bowl of oats is about the gentlest beginning there is. Soft, soothing, warming, and wonderfully easy to fortify. Stir in a spoon of hemp or chia seeds, a swirl of nut butter, or a handful of the seeds we have met today, and that humble bowl quietly becomes a real, complete protein meal that sets your strength and energy up for the entire day ahead. That beta-glucan fiber is one of the most proven helpers in all of nutrition. Decades of research show it helps lower cholesterol and steady blood sugar after meals, which is exactly why oats carry an officially approved heart health claim in many countries. A rare badge for any food. For an aging heart and a calm, steady morning, very few breakfasts anywhere offer better value, gentler comfort, or a stronger pile of evidence behind them than a simple bowl of porridge. Cook them on the stove with water or milk for a few minutes, or make overnight oats by stirring them cold into a jar with milk and fruit the night before, ready to grab in the morning. Always choose rolled or steel-cut oats over the sweetened instant sachets. A large tub costs almost nothing and lasts for weeks. Next is the seed the whole world wrongly calls a grain, and unusually for a plant, it is a complete protein. Number 15. Quinoa, the mother grain. Quinoa was sacred to the ancient Incas, who called it the mother of all grains, though botanically it is really a seed. A cup cooked gives about 8 grams of protein, and here is the rare and valuable part. Unlike almost every other grain, quinoa is a complete protein, carrying every essential amino acid on its own, which lifts it head and shoulders above ordinary rice, bread, and pasta as a base for a meal. If your usual rice and bread leave you scrambling to find protein elsewhere on the plate, quinoa quietly fills that gap inside a single food. After 50, building a meal around a complete protein base takes all the guesswork out of getting enough, which is a real relief. It is also naturally gentle and entirely gluten-free, so it suits sensitive or easily upset stomachs, and its light, fluffy texture and mild taste make it pleasant and easy to eat even on an off day. Beyond that complete protein, quinoa brings a useful supply of magnesium, iron, and fiber, a trio that supports your muscles, your energy levels, and your digestion all at once as the years go by. Because it carries every amino acid on its own, it is an effortless way to make a meatless meal nutritionally solid and satisfying, with none of the careful bean and grain food pairing that other plant proteins sometimes quietly ask of you. It simply does the work itself. Always rinse quinoa well in a fine sieve first to wash away its natural bitter coating. Then simmer 1 part quinoa to 2 parts water for about 15 minutes until the little spiral tails uncurl and it turns fluffy. Use it just like rice, hot as a side or cold in salads through the week. It keeps for months dry in the cupboard. Next is its ancient cousin, even higher in protein and just as worthy of a place on your plate. Number 16. Amaranth, the Aztec grain. Amaranth is another tiny ancient seed, so prized by the Aztecs that it was woven into their sacred ceremonies and treated as a treasure. A cooked cup carries around 9 grams of protein, even more than quinoa, and like quinoa, it is a complete protein, which remains rare and genuinely valuable in the plant world. For something most people have never cooked, it is one of the most nourishing grains you can put in a pot. If you find most grains a little dull, or some of them hard to digest, amaranth offers a soft, creamy, porridge-like change of pace that is naturally gluten-free and easy on an older gut. Its slightly nutty, earthy, almost malty flavor works beautifully in both sweet breakfasts and savory dishes. That complete protein means a simple warm bowl of it genuinely helps you hold on to your strength, rather than just filling you up the way a plain grain would. Amaranth is unusually rich in the amino acid lysine, which most grains badly lack, and in calcium, iron, and magnesium, all of which support aging bones and muscles directly. It also contains plant compounds that researchers are studying for their role in calming inflammation and steadying cholesterol. And it has a delightful party trick. You can pop the dry seeds in a hot pan like miniature popcorn for a light, crunchy, protein-dusted snack the grandchildren will love watching. To cook it, simmer 1 part amaranth to about 3 parts liquid for roughly 25 minutes, stirring now and then until it thickens into a soft porridge, or toast the dry seeds in a hot, dry pan to pop them. It is less common in ordinary shops, so look in health food stores or order it online, where it keeps for many months. Now we leave the grains behind for 3 quiet powerhouses, starting with one harvested from water. Number 17. Spirulina, the blue-green powder. Spirulina is a microscopic blue-green algae, one of the very oldest forms of life on Earth, grown and dried into a deep green powder. By weight, it is almost unbelievable, roughly 60% protein, which is denser than meat, so a single tablespoon adds about 4 grams of complete protein, along with a remarkably concentrated load of iron, B vitamins, and antioxidant pigments, all packed into a portion no bigger than a teaspoon. If your energy is flagged, and the very idea of preparing and chewing a full meal feels like a lot of effort, a spoonful of spirulina stirred into a drink delivers protein and dense minerals with almost no eating required at all. For a frail, tired, or fading appetite, that sheer concentration is a real and practical advantage, packing genuinely remarkable nourishment into a few small swirls of green that go down in a single easy mouthful. Spirulina is especially rich in iron and B vitamins, the very nutrients tied to energy and to fighting the quiet, dragging tiredness so many people feel after 50, and in antioxidant pigments that researchers have studied for supporting the immune system and helping to steady cholesterol. The protein is complete, and gram for gram, it genuinely outdoes almost anything else in your kitchen. It is potent stuff, so a teaspoon or 2 a day from a quality, properly tested brand is plenty. The easy way to enjoy it is to blend a teaspoon into a fruit smoothie or a glass of juice, where the sweetness comfortably hides its strong, earthy, oceany taste. Start with a small amount and build up slowly to let your stomach adjust to it. It is pricey by the bag, but because you use it in such tiny pinches, a single pouch lasts a surprisingly long time. Next is the savory flake that solves a very specific problem of growing older. Number 18. Nutritional yeast, the cheesy flake. These savory golden yellow flakes are a deactivated yeast, completely different from baking yeast, with a taste remarkably close to Parmesan cheese, and they are a genuine nutritional gem. 2 tablespoons carry about 8 grams of complete protein, and most brands are fortified with a full set of B vitamins, including the B12 that quietly becomes one of the most important nutrients of all once you pass 50. Here is the part that really matters for older adults. As we age, the stomach produces less of what it needs to absorb B12 from food, and a slow shortfall can quietly cause deep fatigue, tingling, or numbness in the hands and feet, and a foggy memory that is so easily and wrongly written off as simply getting older. Fortified nutritional yeast is one of the simplest plant ways there is to top up that exact vitamin, sprinkled onto food you already love. Beyond protein and that crucial B12, These flakes carry zinc, selenium, and the other B vitamins tied to steady energy and a calm, well-functioning nervous system. The complete protein supports your muscles, while the rich, savory, cheesy flavor makes vegetables, soups, and grains far more tempting to an appetite that has grown a little picky or tired with age, which quietly nudges you to eat more of all the good things on your plate. Use it just like grated Parmesan, shaken over pasta, popcorn, soups, scrambled eggs, and roasted vegetables, or stirred into sauces and mashed potato for a deep, cheesy, savory richness with no dairy at all. Be sure to choose a fortified version if you want that B12 benefit, since not every brand adds it. A tub is inexpensive and lasts for many months in the cupboard. And now, at last, the protein-dense food I promised you right at the very start. Number 19. Seitan, the wheat meat. Seitan is made from wheat gluten, the protein of wheat, rinsed free of its starch, and then cooked into a firm, chewy, savory food with a genuinely meat-like texture and bite. Buddhist monks created it centuries ago as a meat substitute, and it remains the single most protein-dense food on this entire list, with around 25 grams in a small 3-ounce serving, putting it right alongside the protein of beef. If you genuinely miss the heartiness and satisfaction of meat but want to lean on it far less often, Seitan is the most convincing stand-in there is by a wide margin. Its dense chew and deep savory flavor satisfy in a way that beans and even tofu simply cannot, which makes hitting your daily protein target after 50 noticeably easier and a great deal more enjoyable, especially on the days when assembling a big, careful plant meal feels like real work. Because it is concentrated wheat protein, seitan is naturally low in carbohydrate and fat and packs more protein per single bite than anything else we have met today. There is one important caution, and it is simple but absolute. Seitan is pure gluten. So anyone with celiac disease or a real gluten sensitivity must avoid it entirely, with no exceptions. For everyone else who tolerates wheat well, though, it is a remarkable, filling, and very affordable source of protein. You can buy it ready-made in strips or a block in the chilled aisle, or make a big batch yourself very cheaply from Vital Wheat gluten flour, kneaded into a dough, and then simmered gently in a savory, well-seasoned broth that flavors it through. Slice, season, and fry, grill, or stew it exactly as you would meat, and it freezes well for later, too. Now, for our final food, we return to a tiny seed you have walked past 1,000 times. Number 20. Sunflower seeds, the everyday finisher. These cheerful little seeds, harvested from the great nodding face of the sunflower, are one of the most affordable protein sprinkles you can possibly keep in a kitchen. An ounce of the pale kernels carries around 6 grams of protein, plus a genuinely standout dose of vitamin E, magnesium, and selenium, and the kind of healthy fats that keep them satisfying, nutty, and endlessly useful scattered over almost anything you make. If you want just one simple, almost effortless habit that quietly lifts the protein of nearly every single meal, keep a jar of sunflower kernels right by the stove and use them with a free hand. A scattering over salad, soup, porridge, yogurt, or roasted vegetables costs only pennies and adds protein, satisfying crunch, and real nutrients with no cooking whatsoever, which suits a busy day or a tired evening when the thought of a proper meal feels like one task too many. Sunflower seeds are one of the very best whole food sources of vitamin E, the antioxidant that helps protect your aging cells from daily wear, alongside magnesium and selenium for your muscles, your mood, and your immune defenses. And sunflower seed butter is a brilliant allergy-friendly stand-in for anyone who cannot eat peanuts or tree nuts at all, carrying a very similar protein punch and creamy spreadable comfort, so almost nobody has to miss out on this gentle, everyday source. Buy them as raw or roasted kernels to sprinkle freely over whatever you are eating, or as sunflower seed butter to spread on toast and fruit. Toast them briefly in a dry pan for a deeper, nuttier flavor, and store them somewhere cool so their good fats stay fresh. A large bag costs very little and lasts for months. That is our full 20, and what quietly ties every one of them together matters just as much as any single food. 20 plant foods, and notice the thread running through every one of them. Not a single one is exotic, complicated, or expensive, and together they quietly prove that protein after 50 does not have to mean meat at every meal or a shelf full of costly powders. From a few cents of lentils to a spoonful of green algae, the simple building blocks for holding on to your strength, your balance, and your independence are sitting right now on ordinary supermarket shelves, just waiting for you to reach for them. And if all of this feels like a great deal to take in at once, please do not try to change everything overnight, because you do not need to. Do just one thing this week. Add a single protein food to your breakfast, the meal where most of us get almost none at all. A spoon of hemp or chia, a swirl of nut butter, a handful of seeds over your porridge. That one small habit, repeated quietly each morning, is genuinely how you protect the muscle that keeps you steady, capable, and strong for years to come. And do remember, this is general information to help you eat well, and not medical advice for your particular situation. If you live with kidney disease, take medication, or have any condition that changes how much protein is right for you, please talk it through with your doctor or a registered dietitian before making big changes. The whole goal here is simply to add good, strengthening food into your life gently and gradually, never to follow rigid or punishing rules. If this was useful to you, subscribe to Healing Garden, where every single week we look honestly and carefully at the food and the old wisdom that helps us age strong, clear, and well. And do tell me down in the comments, which of these 20 foods are you going to add to your plate first, and which one genuinely surprised you the most? I read every single comment, and I truly love hearing what you are trying in your own kitchen. Next time, we are staying with the food that helps us age well, but turning our attention to the plants and superfoods most closely linked with a longer, sharper, more youthful life, the anti-aging foods that the world's healthiest people quietly eat every day. Until then, eat well, stay strong, look after each other, and I will see you in the very next one.